Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Precision Racing League's American PS4 F1 Championship Series. I'm your host for this evening, Hootius. Out there in Twitch land, you know me as Old Man Hoot, and very excited to bring you round number 2 of season number 10 of this wonderful league. Tonight, we are going to race in China. I know it's a little bit different. The real world F1 just did Bahrain. We're still going based off last year's schedule, so we're at China tonight. We just came off a pretty incredible Australia race that saw 2 of our 3 podium guys not cross the line where they ended up finished. That was the big story last week at Australia, was penalties. Not expecting to see it as much here at China. Wider track. It is an actual race circuit, not a street circuit like we've seen out of Australia. So, and not only that, we're going to have some really long DRS straights that we didn't see at Australia either. So be prepared for some big time overtakes tonight. It's going to be fantastic. And as our resident meteorologist Aerostrike informs us, we're looking at a cloudy race. No real chance of rain. However, we may have some sprinkles here in qualifying. Jeff is whispering into Aerostrike's ear, letting him know the sprinkles may be coming. So I expect this track to get very busy very quick. Obviously, if it does start sprinkling, intermediate tires are going to do nothing compared to the super softs that we're going to see on everybody right now. Matter of fact, actually, B-More is out on the softs, K-Dog is out on the softs. So I'm wondering if they did not get the same information that Aerostrike got about the possibility of rain here in qualifying. And matter of fact, we still have 6, now it's just 5 drivers in the pits. They need to get out there. If rain is a possibility, they have got to go. All right, while everybody is on their outlap right now trying to get around, let's go ahead and first let's talk about the circuit. As we said, China. We have 16 turns. Some more kinks than actual turns, but technically 16. And what we're going to do is for our track, since our track tour, we're already here, we're going to hop on with J-Rod. He is going to take us around China this week. J-Rod last season had really, really good qualifying efforts. Didn't quite kick off this season as he wanted in Australia, but let's see if he can rebound this week as he comes off the final corner down the front stretch. Very long stretch, but only the second longest. This is a DRS zone. Plenty of time to use the DRS, use the slip, kind of get yourself in position to overtake here in turn 1. So you got a long, sweeping right-hander that keeps going and going and going until you're technically in turn 2, then the quick left for turn 3. Again, you want to take it nice and easy before you stomp on it. This little kink up here is going to be turn 5, though you just floor right through it until you hit a braking zone. It's going to be a very sharp turn number 6, this right-hander right here. If you get a great run out of down that turn 5-ish kink, you can set up a passing opportunity in turn 6. Now, you've got a winding turn 7 here. It's going to come back to your right. This will be your turn 8 until you reach a nice braking zone here in 9. Little short shoot. There's turn 10, and you're stomping back on it. You have another intermediate here into a decent braking zone into turn 11. Now, here is super important. 12, you're going to get on it, and you need to get on it quick and carry a great run because here comes the longest straight in F1. And on top of it, it is a DRS zone. This is where you're going to see guys create huge runs, tons of time to complete an overtake until you get into this super tight, super slow, very hard braking hairpin of turn number 14. Technically, this little kink right there was turn 15. One last time, you're going to get on the brakes quick, get off quick, hop that curb. That's turn number 16. Hit the DRS, and you're back down the front stretch one more time. And that right there is how you do China in 1 minute and 33 seconds flat. So thank you, J-Rod, for giving us a tour around here. All right. As everybody is starting to pile in on the laps, let's look at it. Not a shocker right now. Odom's sitting in early P1. Matter of fact, let's go ahead as well. Let's talk about last week, the kickoff race. McSendit took the pole. Your defending champion from Season 9 took the pole in intermediate wet conditions. Pretty much just destroyed the rest of the field. It was over 6/10. In these dry conditions, I don't think we're going to see anybody run away with it like that again. Odoms right now, who's currently sitting P1, qualified second. Here's the heartbreaker with Odoms. He actually crossed the line last week in first place. However, little too aggressive on some corners. The game declared that he cut, gave him a time penalty. So even though Odoms crossed the line in first, he was technically second place. McSendit, the points champion, covered the delta and was awarded the win. Now, let's talk Williams, the teammates, Nick Dahi and Woody. Woody also crossed the line in third place. But again, due to penalties, his teammate Nick Dahi was awarded the final podium spot. It was absolutely insane at the end of the Australia race. Again, we won't see the penalties as prevalent here in China, but it just goes to show no matter what, you have to race it to the very end. You have no idea what's going to happen. Now we have to give a big shout out too to the two Williams that, due to that third and fourth place finish, they actually lead the team championship right now. So you've got Williams in first place, only 2 points though over Mercedes due to McSendit's win. You've got McLaren in third, 9 points back due to Odom's second place finish. We had 7 of the 10 teams score points at Australia, so we got a lot of variety going on of drivers in the top 10. Alright, is everybody still filtering through? Well, we got a Sector 2 yellow. That just might be somebody slowing down and getting out of the... Oh, no, it's not. That was Chapa. So tough break for the Toro Rosso driver. He did put in a time. Looked like it was just really a banker lap. He wasn't putting too much into it. But I'm not exactly sure where he is on the track. But, oh, he is completely spun around. He had a lot of issues on that turn exit. And actually, did we just see it? We'll hop around in some other drivers. I think we saw sprinkles. I wonder if that's what led... That may have led to Chappas there. If it is sprinkling on that portion of the track, and yes, I do see raindrops. So, unfortunately, that may have led to Chappa's demise there. Now, here's a killer, too. Bubba. Aaron Webb. They have yet to put in laps. We'll see here if Aaron Webb is on a half lap. He might be. Look at that. This already slick conditions. Aaron not able to turn out of the hairpin the way he wanted. It's going to slow him down really, really bad here in the final turn. Let's see. Is this going to be a time for Aaron? No, it's not. That was his out lap. It is going to be super difficult for Aaron to put in a quality lap with the track slicking right now. Same for Bubba. Bubba has yet to leave pit road. So unfortunately, those two drivers might be looking at back of the grid. Aaron's going to give it his all, though. There's nothing else you can do. The track's only going to get more wet from here, so he has to give it everything that he has in his Force India. We're going to go ahead and keep it on Aaron. We have some guys still out there, too, trying to attempt out laps. However, like I said, from this point, I think qualifying is pretty much done. I just don't see how anybody is going to be able to use the slicks and keep up the pace with the raindrops falling. That was the importance of getting out there early and getting that quick run in when you could. Oh no, as we see a Mercedes back there. I believe that was a Mercedes. Having issues coming out of that turn, but... Alright, Aaron, once again, coming up to turn 16. Try to carry that momentum to the start-finish line. Actually, very impressive lap by Aaron in these conditions. He's going to jump up to 7th place. He's 2 seconds off the pole, but that is to be expected in these, these conditions. They're not preferred at all, so great job by Aaron. He's going to start middle of the field. Bubba's out there now. He's trying to lay down a lap, but at this point, I just don't know if we're going to have anybody contend for that top spot. As we've seen, the track is really starting to get slick, and it's just going to get worse from here. But Bubba's going to give it a go. You see Bubba's car sliding out there. Did an awesome job keeping it out of the grass. But Bubba is just in the first 3 turns right now. He has still got pretty much the entire circuit to go. And you can see that the light on the back of the car is reflecting off to the asphalt. It is slick. It is wet. We'll keep it on the Haas driver for now. See what he can do. If anything, can he get one position? Oh, great catch by Bubba. The rear end was starting to slide out there from him, but he was able to keep it underneath. Sandman putting the hood on the big screen. Thanks, brother. Hope you're having a wonderful night. All right, here we go. Bubba whipping it around. Turn 12, turn 13, going down the backstretch. As drivers are starting to retire now. Guys are starting to understand that this is it. The track is just really slick. They're not going to be able to improve on their time. Except for Bubba. He has no time. He has no choice. He's got to go. Again, that hairpin in these slick conditions runs him wide. We saw Aaron Webb do that the previous lap. Comes Bubba out of the final turn onto the front stretch. And Bubba is going to jump Chapa. He just did get the lap in. As you can see, well off the pace, but that was really due just to these track conditions. There's really nothing much Bubba can do except hold on and give it a really nice run. All right, we are going to have 14 drivers in tonight as KWP has just joined the lobby. And Jacko, yes, I saw that as well as McSendit leaving and joining back in. So hopefully that doesn't cause any shenanigans on the start. We don't have any cars loading inside cars. They said they fixed that in a patch, but we'll wait and see here in just under 3 minutes. All right. We still got a few more drivers out there. Woody's out there. B-Moore's out there. Renga's out there. All right, Woody just crossed the line, so really now it's just B-Moore and Ranga. All the other drivers have retired. B-Moore went ahead and called it quits. He was down on his delta. There was no improving. Ranga coming off the last turn down the front stretch. And he is several seconds off his own pace, so that's going to do it for qualifying. Qualifying established pretty much halfway through the session tonight due to the rain hitting. And there we go. Congratulations to Odoms. He's going to snag the pole this week, clipping McSendit by 2/10. Nick Dahi's going to start third. J-Rod in fourth. Woody's fifth. Arrow in sixth. Aaron Webb's in seventh. B-Moore in eighth. K-Dog ninth. Brian Mosser is going to round out your top 10. Renga, Bubba, and Chapa. Now KWP as well. KWP will start last. He joined late. Those 4 drivers, they're going to have the tire advantage. They're going to be able to select the strategy they want and start on the fresh ones. We are looking at a dry race. And Doge, in regards to Project Cars 2, it's qualifying is the exact same as race conditions. Time of day, weather conditions, all of it. All right, drivers are going to get their strategies in now. Make sure the fuel is right. Figure out between the super softs, the softs, maybe the guys in the back, maybe they elect to go on mediums. We'll have to see. Now we got Jacko in the chat, so we do have to give a shout out to our Australian compadres over in the Bahrain race. Since they're a week ahead, they don't care about baseball like Aaron did. They got to start before us. Our Pacific League race was 1-2 for the Mercedes cars, with Majako coming in second place, teammate and wonderful girlfriend and proud member of the PRL, Danny Rocks, taking home the win. So congratulations to those two on a wonderful race. And it's all good, bud. All right, 10 seconds to go. Everybody's got to start wrapping up now. Get everything locked in. All right, there we go. 14 drivers tonight. So as we prepare for our parade lap, let's go ahead and take a look. All right. Actually, pretty much this field is almost split in half. So our top 7 is on supers. B-More and K-Dog, they did qualify on softs. And then our 4 gentlemen in the back elected to go on softs as well. Brian Mosser in 10th. He elected to go super softs. He's going to have to make some early overtakes to make sure that his strategy works out. Not an overly aggressive parade lap like we've seen on most weeks. Extended having a little fun with Odoms, poking at him here on the parade lap. Like we mentioned in qualifying, Odoms crossed the line first last week. However, was scored second place due to penalties. McSendit, your current points leader after his Australia win, benefited from those penalties. Dahi was awarded third place after his teammate Woody's had too many penalties. So our podium for last week is starting top 3 in just a little bit of a different order. We mentioned it, J-Rod did not have a good qualifying effort at Australia, ended up DNFing in the race, turned it around. He's going to start 4th. Great run for the Red Bull driver. Previously mentioned Woody's in 5th. Arrow, the lone Ferrari in the field. No Forza Alonso this week. All right. Behind him, the 2 pink cars. We're looking at Aaron Webb and then B-More, Force India guys. They had a double points finish last week. Gonna try to do it again. K-Dog also running solo in the Renault. Psycho Sui not here this week. Brian Mosser got himself sent back to the grid. Not sure what happened there. Normally it's 2 drivers involved because of contact, so I'm not sure. What do we have going on here? I'm not sure what kind of shenanigans we got going on. I don't know if Extended's having issues or he's playing around, but they got the field all jumbled up. But that's all right. The game's going to correct everybody. We're going to get gridded up. We're going to get ready to go. To be honest, Jacko, I have no idea. I wasn't expecting Forza to miss tonight, so. And Doge, no. Actually, I still have not set up the Elgato yet. I just got the laptop back from the hard drive crash, so I'm going to spend this weekend setting her all up. All right, here we go. The lights are on. The lights are out. Odoms with a good start. He gets coverage. All right. J-Rod looking to make a move on Extended. J-Rod qualified 4th, trying to get up to 2nd early. He's already got overtake on Dahi. Can he? No, can't quite quit. Dahi's fighting back. The drivers are wheel to wheel. This is giving room to Odoms and Extended early. This is like they want to see. We got the 2 Williams out the outside. All right, there we go. J-Rod has 3rd secure, and actually, because of that, that's going to allow Aerostrike to try to make a move on Nick. The Ferrari and the Williams are now side by side. Nick has the preferred line. He's going to establish the overtake. Aero is not letting go, though. He's still staying tucked right behind him. All right, let's jump real quick. Let's look. So we had a couple of position changes. Pretty much, though, everybody else stayed where they were. A lot of jockeying for position, but in the end, most guys stayed in their qualifying position. Go back up front real quick. All right, down the very long backstretch. You can just tell by the camera how long this is going. Odoms trying to cut the slip from Extended. Extended doing a great job staying in it. No DRS just yet. They'll have to wait 2 more laps to get it. Extended only a half-second back, well within DRS. J-Rod, though. J-Rod currently sitting in 3rd. He is a 2.5 back. He has got to close that gap if he wants a shot at some DRS. See, K-Dog goes wide there. Brian Mosser had to make a little bit of a move, make sure he didn't touch him. Let's go ahead and jump back and look at that. Brian with a crossover. Wow, great job hanging on to it. He almost slid himself into pit wall. Really dangerous move, and in the end, that may cost him his position. No, he's going to fight back against Renga. Brian a little too aggressive there, trying to maneuver the vehicle a little too quick. Almost slid it in the wall. We're going to hop on Renga. Renga is not done with Brian Mosser yet, though. He wants to battle for that final points position right now. So up front, there is a gap between second and third place. There is almost the DRS gap between 7th and 8th place. Everybody else trying to stay within DRS. We have a... Oh, no, it's KWP. That was our first yellow section we saw up there. So KWP went wide. He is going to drop way back. No damage to the car, it looks like. Let's hop on. No, wing looks good. So KWP is going to need to recover from that off. All right, down the back stretch again. Actually, we're starting to see a little... Brian's... Actually, here we go. Renga's got to run. Use the slip. Pull up beside Brian. Into the hard brake for the hairpin. Brian's going to go in wide. See if he can hold that outside line. Can he accelerate? No, he cannot. Renga's going to have position. Renga had the better angle going into that final turn. So Brian had to back off. He's going to lose time. Still in DRS zone, though, but he needs to recover. Let's go up front. We just saw the scoreboard change. We've got a battle for third place right now. Dahi was able to get a nice run down the front stretch. Established overtake. Took the inside line. He's going to make it stick on J-Rod. These guys are almost 3 seconds back from our leaders, but they're right there in view. We have got a gaggle, though, for third place. As you can tell, there's 5 cars. Dahi's leading the train. J-Rod, Arrow, Woody, Aaron. These guys are going to have some major runs on this backstretch. DRS is going to be activated this time. McSendit, 6/10 back from Odoms. He's going to have DRS this time. We are going to have a show going on here in just a few moments as they reach this backstretch. All right, here we go. Odoms rounding the turn. We're going to hop on with McSendit. So he crossed the DRS 6/10. He gained almost 2/10 right there. All right, our train back there stayed together. Nobody made an overtake, but everybody is closed up. The battle for 10th is going, so Brian has gotten around Renga. Here's going to be the close one. We saw Bubba was right behind Renga when that happened. Was there contact? Did Bubba get any wing damage? He's staying out. It was super, super close, but thankfully for Bubba's case, it looks like if there was contact, it was super minor. We'll follow him here through turns 1 and 2. Doesn't appear to be struggling too much. So the Haas machine is still good to go. Now we did have an overtake. Woody's has gotten back around Arrow Strike. Arrow took a peek at it. Oh no! Oh! Let's hop on. We saw Arrow had to get on the brakes a little bit harder. He got in the gravel, couldn't accelerate. Aaron closed up quickly. There appeared to be a little bit of a bump. The wing looks intact, however, we don't know if it was dented. So far, so good. It seems to be handling okay for Aaron. Actually, we'll go ahead and we'll stay on with the Force India driver as we come down the backstretch. Get a bird's eye view here of this DRS zone. So looking up ahead, it looks like Woody just got a run on J-Rod. J-Rod has fallen back. He is out of DRS for Nick Dahi. Aaron seems to be falling back a little bit. There might be wing damage. Oh, there's contact up front. That was J-Rod and Woody's. Seemed to go wheel to wheel there. Woody's has the overtake. He's going to take 4th. Aaron's staying out. So if the contact seemed to be very minor, he is good to go. Wheel to wheel action there in that hairpin. J-Rod now sees himself fall in 1 position from his qualifying. Trying to stay connected to the back of Woody's right now. Arrow Strike waiting, just ready to pounce. if J-Rod slips up. Closing right on into the braking zone. Aaron's still hanging in there as well. What's going to work out for the Force India driver too? It looks like B-More is just within DRS zone of Aaron. So if B-More can keep that gap, that's going to help him close in on the backstretch as well. This could be a 5-car battle then for 4th place. As Dahi has almost 2 seconds up on this battle in 3rd. Trying to run away with it. Not let that group close back up on him. Yeah, B-More had a really nice run, so he's officially part of this. So make that 5 cars looking to battle it out for 4th place. The only problem is all those cars with DRS, really the only sitting duck out there is the first car in line. All right, there's battling in the back. Let's take it. Once again, Brian Mosser and Ranga going at it for that 10th spot. These guys have had some really nice give and takes here. Oh, really hard to go too wide in that final turn, and Ranga saw it as Bubba went really wide there. All right, that's going to give Brian what he needed, plus give Chapa a run. So Chapa's entered the fray now for this 10th position. Ranga, he wants another piece of Mosser. He's trying to make quick work at Chapa. Oh, big lag spike out of Brian there. Oh, there's uh-oh, this is not good. Brian Mosser is lagging. So there would seem to be wheel-to-wheel contact. However, the wing of that Mercedes looks intact. So let's just hope that was a one-time spike. No damage to the cars. These guys can keep going at it on this wonderful battle they're having back here for this final points-paying position. We've got to go up front now. We've been watching everybody else. We've got to watch our leaders. Extend it. Really staying about that half-second, 6/10 gap back to Odoms. Odoms doing a good job trying to defend. Might be running less wing than McSendit, so he has his own straightaway speed. McSendit capitalizing, but not really getting that huge run that he needs to get himself in position for an overtake on Odoms. Sandman, sacrificing playing with the Patch 5 to hang out with Hoot with the F1s. I appreciate it, brother. And Sandman, go ahead and throw it in chat too, buddy. So Patch 5, we've heard the McLaren, the GT3 McLaren, a little spicy now. You excited, my man? I know you weren't too happy with her, but are you ready to hit the track this weekend, get some practice laps in? Our boy Mac Attack giving it pretty big praise. All right, as we go to the back, we're starting to see some more colors change here on the leaderboard. B-More has got around teammate Aaron Webb. They have fallen out of DRS, though. Matter of fact, so our battle for 4th place is broken up. Woody's has taken J-Rod out of DRS. Arrow is still stuck to the back of A-Rod, or J-Rod, excuse me. B-More, though, is out of DRS. Aaron is within DRS of his teammate, though. Now, what's going to work out for Aaron is that B-More is on the softs. Aaron's on the super softs. They're using different tire strategies. So they could stay nose to tail like this. They won't have to worry about stacking in pit road. All right, the field's starting to spread out a little bit. We'll keep an eye to that battle for 10th. Brian's out of DRS with Ranga. We'll see if he gets back in it, though. Chapa right on the tail of Brian. Doche and GT3 is nice and spicy. It's the closest it's ever been. New tire model, though. That's going to be very interesting, especially in a downpour at Brands Hatch, what we're going to experience on Tuesday night. And we've got our first pitter. Very shocking. Nick Dahi is the first to pit. Normally the king of tire conservation. He's in, and he's taking mediums. So Dahi definitely going with the one-stop approach. Got to take these white walls. 20 laps. Dahi fall all the way back to 12th place. Lost 9 positions. But worse than that is, and we talk about this every week with guys who short pit, the risk of doing that is now you're back in the field. In front of Dahi, we see Bubba in the Haas on worn tires. Dahi cannot waste any time with these guys in the back. He's got to get around them if he wants to make this shortstop work. Brian Mosser is also pitted. And he has jumped on softs. Brian might be going with the two-stop approach. All right, Dahi with a run. Though in a pretty bad spot. This is a battle for position, so while Bubba will race him respectfully, he can't just pull over from him. As we see, Bubba had the overtake through there, though Dahi's getting a nice run on the outside. This is exactly what Dahi didn't need. Now he is going to complete the pass on Bubba. Bubba is going to have DRS, though, for this backstretch. Would Bubba challenge him going into the hairpin? All right, we crossed the line. The flap opened on the Haas. We have a yellow. A Sector 2 yellow. KWP again. Brian Mosser was in last place because he... Oh, no! KWP in the wall again. And that time, the wing has snapped on the Sauber driver, so... Definitely expecting to see KWP pit next time around. Speaking of pits, J-Rod is in and out in his Red Bull. And he is not going to gain time on Dahi. He's going to be around 3.3 seconds back of the Williams driver. Now we're starting to see the colors on the scoreboard change as we do some pit cycles. We see the arrows downwards for Nick Dahi and J-Rod. They both have pitted. Brian Mosser has pitted. McSendit is closing the gap now. Still can't quite get the run that he needs on Odom. Odom snaking down the backstretch, trying to break that slipstream. Close in a little bit, but again, still not enough to establish any type of overtake coming into the hairpin. They're going to stay out another lap. Could Odoms and McSendit be trying to one-stop it with maybe a soft? That might be a lot to ask. We'll have to see. And I think what we're seeing here, too, is what I maybe speculated on earlier. If Odoms is running just less wing, so he has the big-time straightaway speed, so McSendit cannot capitalize on the DRS and the slipstream. McSendit really closing the gap. All right, we have two more pitters. Woody's, he's in. Aaron Webb is in. All right, Woody's is out, and he is right behind Dahi. So potentially this is the battle for third. The Williams drivers once again looking to duke it out for the final podium spot. And Woody's has gone with the soft tire. So he has a tire advantage right now over Nick Dahi. But again, because of the early pits, they're in traffic. We see Chapa in front of them in the Toro Rosso. That is for position. Chapa has scored 7th right now. Let's go back up front. See, once again, Odoms just gets really good acceleration coming into this straight. Builds a little bit of a gap. McSendit opens up the flaps for the DRS. Stays in the slip, but just can't close in. Odoms really, really flexing his muscles on the straightaway. All right, will they pit? Yes, they're both pitting. All right, let's watch the race on pit road. Both drivers clean. I didn't see any warnings for pits. Arrow is going to stay out. B-More is going to stay out. Now remember, B-More started on the softs. Can B-More one-stop it, go softs and then supers? Could he have the tire advantage at the end to try to get some more positions? Same with K-Dog. Arrow, though, started on the supers. Very impressive that Arrow is taking the supers this far. Really solid chance that Arrow is going to throw on the softs and make it a solid one-stop. All right, let's look at the exit of pit road. Odoms had a little bit of a better pit there. He is gapped McSendit. McSendit is out of DRS as of right now. Both drivers looking at a pretty clean track, though. Odoms is over 3 seconds behind K-Dog, who's currently in third. Both drivers taking the softs. So, really, all we've seen now is Nick Dahi go on mediums. Everybody else is going on softs. And Dahi was also pitting really early on the supers compared to a lot of these guys. So, real big shocker that it seems like Nick Dahi just did not have the tire wear that some of these guys have this week. Alright, we're going to look what it's the delta here. Alright, 1.4-ish seconds. We're going to see at the end of this straightaway. Well, the gap pretty much stayed the same. That was shocking. I figured without DRS, we would see Odoms pull away with it, but... Alright, KWP and the Sauber. We've seen the issues that he's had this race. He pulls over. Very sportsman of him. Not wanting to get in the way of this battle for position. Which really, the battle for the lead, because our top 3 drivers still need to make their pit stops. Arrow still out there. He's absolutely going to throw on the softs and make it a pretty easy one-stop for himself. Let's go further back in the field. The Williams teammates. Actually, let's hop back up because I just noticed Odoms has made it within DRS of K-Dog. K-Dog is out there on some very worn soft tires. Odoms on fresh softs. This might be a tough break for Odoms. Really, really hard place to try to overtake. And that's going to allow McSendit to close the gap. Odoms is going to take a look. Power move. Odoms pretty much had to dive it in there. K-Dog being respectful, giving him that room. That's what Odoms needed. He's going to have to try to keep the gap on McSendit. McSendit with a good run, though. He's going to have DRS. K-Dog's going to have to back out of it. He just does not have the tire to hang in this fight. So McSendit still out of DRS range, though. And there we go. Arrow is in. Great job by Arrow, taking those supers 13 laps, further than anybody else. Alright, K-Dog has pitted as well, so that leaves B more. Actually, let's go ahead and open up this real quick. B-More, Chappa, and Bubba are the final... Actually, Ring is in, Chappa's in, so really Bubba. We'll see if he comes in this time as well. That's going to do it for everybody's pit stops. And Bubba's in. Alright, really, so... We're just waiting on B-More now. And once B-More comes into pit, that's going to give the lead back to Odoms, who is gapping McSendit right now. McSendit's falling back. It was 1.3 seconds earlier in the lap. It's almost 1.7. That's what Odoms wants to see. Odoms only has a handful of races under his PRL belt, but very impressive in each one of them. Trying to find that first win. As we come into the halfway point of the race, he can keep that gap on McSendit. It's looking like a very big possibility. Now, as the field is cycled around, Dahi is going to stay in third place. It is about a 25-second... It takes about 25 seconds to get on and off pit road. Oh! The Williams drivers trying to use KWP for that extra slip there. Some close quarters, but Dahi is going to hold the position. Odom setting the fastest lap of the race right now. Woody's still within DRS zone of his teammate, though. They get to battling too hard, though. We see the Ferrari of Aerostrike back there. B-More has relinquished the lead. He has pitted. Before the cycle, he was 7th. And he is going to come out 7th right in front of his teammate, Aaron Webb. Now, this is what I'm really, really shocked by B-More, though. I thought for sure he would have gone on softs, but he has elected to go mediums. Or super softs, excuse me, but he's elected to go mediums, so. Alright, Force India drivers, 7th and 8th. Look at your current manufacturer team leaders, the Williams drivers, where they finished last week, 3rd and 4th. Not a shocker as we go into the back of the field. We've got a close battle for 10th as Ranga, only a half-second back of Bubba, well within, Brian, well within DRS. These guys have gone wheel-to-wheel multiple times. Brian trying to get a run. Ranga's flirting with that 1 second. Doge, I believe it will be Storm. Unfortunately, I did not realize they changed that from the first game. So yes, it will be under Storm conditions. I'll make sure to announce that in League Chat and get everybody on the same page. Alright, we've got to drop this battle for 10th right now. I'll keep an eye on it if Ranga can close back in. We've got to look at the battle for 3rd as it's starting to become a 3-car affair. The lone Ferrari in the field, Arrow, is catching the Williams drivers. Arrow having a really strong run right now on his soft tires. Also looking up front, McSenda is still that 2.5 or 1.6 second gap. On Odoms, he is not closing in. So really, battle for position-wise, we've got this 3-car battle for your final podium spot. We've got Ranga and Brian ready to duke it out for the final point spot in 10th. Everybody else is pretty well gapped right now. Aaron has fallen out of DRS of his teammate B-More. And as we went through all the pit cycles and everything else, everybody is still really, really close to their qualifying order. J-Rod has lost a couple positions. The Force India guys swapped their qualifying positions. Chappa and Bubba swapped their qualifying positions. I got it, Doge. No worries, bud. So J-Rod, we see him. He's 4 seconds back, but if these guys start duking it out and really slowing themselves down, he could easily slip into this battle as well. This is what we saw last week, though, at Australia. The Williams guys kept themselves nose to tail, really making sure that they don't press the issue. They know the importance of the end game here, especially if they want to battle for that manufacturer's championship. Try not to put themselves in precarious situations, though. I will tell you, if Nick does have a slip-up, Woody's would not hesitate, though. We got a Sector 2 yellow. Woody's would not hesitate to take that spot. J-Rod was our Sector 2 yellow. Unfortunately, the Red Bull driver went really off. It allowed both Force Indias to pass him. It's giving K-Dog a run. So J-Rod is going to fall down to 9th. Really, really tough break for the Red Bull driver, as he's now down 5 positions. We've got to go up. Arrow getting a run. He's taking a look at Woody. Woody has that preferred position. Arrow with a strong run on the outside. Give it to the Ferrari. Really nice power move there. Arrow is feeling it on these soft tires right now. He has split the Williams drivers. He is trying to chase down Nick Dahi now. Arrow just out of DRS. Currently has the tire advantage, though, over Dahi. Dahi on the mediums. Arrow's on the softs. Arrow's got to make that pass, though, by the end of this race. Those tires are going to be equal. So he's got to make sure he catches up to Nick and tries to complete the overtake. All right, we got to go to the back of the field. There we go. I saw the arrows swap once again. Brian Mosser, Ranga. They both want that point. They have been pretty much glued together all race, minus the pit cycle. I'm going to keep an eye on the deltas between Nick, Arrow, and Woody, though. If we see those close in, we'll hop back up there. But for right now, we're going to ride around with the Mercedes, trying to battle the Haas. Brian goes a little wide. Ranga couldn't capitalize, though. Brian with a good run. Wyatt hurt him in the apex and helped him on the exit. Here we go, getting ready to come down the backstretch. Brian, all right, Brian slipped up a little bit. He went wide. He got on the curbing. Ranga hugging that inside. He's going to have the DRS. He's staying in the slipstream. He's closing in. All right, made the move outside. We're going to ride with Brian into the hairpin. Brian's going to have that outside lane. Trying to close the gap in. There's a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there. Brian, he's still there. Oh, there's more wheel-to-wheel contact. Both the guys are going to go wide. Again, super, super hard to go too wide in that final turn. Brian had to back off. So, due to that contact, Brian went ahead and backed off. He was at a bad angle. He felt like he came up into Ranga, did the sportsman thing, gave the spot to Ranga. Now it's time to attack. Really, really good battle. And as this is happening, Arrow is closing in the gap. Woody's has fallen out of DRS of Arrow. But Arrow has closed the gap on Nick. J-Rod is closing the gap. Actually, K-Dog is off! Oh, I just noticed J-Rod was in DRS of K-Dog, and by the time we swap over, K-Dog is in the wall. His wing is ripped off. Tough, tough break for the Renault driver. This is going to really hurt him. He is going to have to make a pit. Matter of fact, here comes Ranga. Here comes Brian. K-Dog not even going to really contend it. Nothing he could do without that front wing right now. All right, we've got to go back up. So Nick has widened the gap by a couple tenths over Arrow. Woody is back in DRS zone. While all this is happening, I'm looking back up front. McSendit is now over 2 seconds back of Odoms. And yes, Doge, you are correct. Let's go ahead and get her going. That was an absolute oh-no there by K-Dog. K-Dog getting the first oh-no's of the race for completely whipping off that front wing. Alright, Woody's again out of DRS. Alright, now here's something I was wondering as well. Brian Mosser is in the pits. So I'm wondering if, did he receive wing damage? Plus, Brian did pit early. I was expecting he would have to do a two-stop strategy. So this is going to have Ranga securely in ninth now, with Chapa on the mediums jumping into the final point spot. Brian Mosser, a pretty big gap, about 17 seconds back. He has got a long ways to go. He's got 10 laps to do it. He is going to have to run a really, really quick pace to catch up to Chapa for that final points position. Back up front, the Ferrari had a really good run on the backstretch, closed up to Nick, but couldn't make anything happen there. He's going to have DRS easily. Oh, not a clean exit. Nick took it a little bit easier on entry. Arrow closed in, but Nick got off the turn a lot better. So they're going to stay in their positions for right now. Arrow knows the importance, though, of getting around Nick. Like we said here, in a handful of laps, the tires are going to be equal. There won't be any advantage for the softer compound. There will be an oh no command, Doge, once I get everything back up and running. I was thinking too, like, I need a macro that I could just hit instead of having to click and type. Alright, as we're looking through the field, this is the only DRS battle that we have right now. Your battle for third. We'll keep an eye on the gap, too, between Chappa and Brian Mosser. Brian would have to do almost 2 seconds a lap better than Chappa if he's going to try to take that final point away from him. Woody's once again trying to get himself back in this battle. He's within a second now, but was he at the line? Yes! Woody's has DRS this time. Tap back in on the Ferrari. Can close the gap on Nick, but not establish overtake. Once again. But this is allowing Woody's back in the battle. Oh, Woody's. A little bit of a corner cut there. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want the game to penalize him. That was a definite warning given out by the game, though. Send it still around 2.5 seconds back of Odoms. As we have a 3-car battle for the final podium spot. These drivers well back. They would need Odoms and McSendit both to have a ton of trouble to be able to contend for the win, but definitely contending for a podium spot right now between the 2 Williams and the 1 Ferrari. These guys get a little too spicy here in this battle. You've got B-More about 4.5 seconds back. Pretty big lock up there on the left front of Woody's. Got to be careful. Don't want to take any excessive tire wear out. Again, the drivers within DRS. There's the open flap on the Ferrari. We heard the click on the Williams. Closing in on Dahi, but still too far back to be able to make a move. See Arrow trying to take a different approach to this turn that time. He wants to try to close up better on Dahi. Got to figure out where he can make a run. Woody's falling a little bit back, still within DRS, but he has got to close that gap. Arrow, no matter what he could do right now, still staying about the same delta back of Dahi. He's got to figure out how to close it in and pick his spot. Where can he get the best run to attempt an overtake on the Williams driver? We mentioned it before, looking on the scoreboard, Brian Mosser closing the gap on Chappa, but not nearly fast enough right now. He shaved off over 3 seconds, but time is winding down. There's only 6 more laps to go. Arrow not getting a good run at all there, coming down the stretch, so Dahi has almost 9/10 of a gap. Arrow's going to close it up by a couple. Woody's is going to get a good run, but not good enough. He's going to be able to pressure the Ferrari, but not make any move. Yeah, they do, Zeke. This is a very fast track, man. The laps just melt away. It seems like it takes forever here to get through Sector 1. Sector 2 is fast-paced, and then Sector 3 is pretty much just falls out down that backstretch. Sector 3 flies. Alright, since he had that little slip, Arrow has yet to really close the gap back on Dahi. Sitting about 3/4 of a second back, he really needs to close that if he wants to have a serious battle here for 3rd place. Trying to score his first podium of the season. Again, locking up. That was the same time we saw Woody's lock up last time. Gotta worry about the wear on that left front. Alright, Arrow, much better that time around. Again, he'll close up a little bit, but he's too far back to have a possible shot at Nick. Alright, we see up ahead. There is a lapped vehicle. That's not... that would be Bubba in the Haas. That's not what Arrow wanted. Arrow was hoping maybe the Haas driver would keep it going through turns 1 and 2, wait until he sees the blue flags to serve it. Maybe Nick could catch him at a bad spot and Arrow could capitalize, but, you know, we talk about here in the PRL, just the sportsmanship between them drivers. Bubba's not having the race that he wanted, just hugging the pit, you know, right next to pit road wall, just staying completely out of the way of this battle. However, though, Arrow has had a really nice run, and he's closed back up to the back of Dahi. Can he make something of it now, as he's starting to run out of laps? Let's go to the back. We've got a battle going on. The Haas and the Renault. This isn't for a point, but this is for bragging rights. These longtime competitors in F1, in NASCAR, in Project Cars. Brian and K-Dog have shared many a track together as they're duking it out for 11th place right now. Brian with a really strong run out of the outside, and oh my god, what happened? Arrow has left the session. Arrow has disconnected. That is an awful break for Arrow. Hopefully he can get back in. Buddy, alright, he's in the chat. Can you get back in the game? Your car is ghosted. It's still out there. Hop back in that thing, dude. You still got time. B-More is over 5 seconds behind. Hop in there. You're losing it to the Williams, but you could still secure 5th place. Absolute heartbreaker. And Arrow does not have another invite. That's an absolute heartbreaker. That is absolutely terrible. And that's a flaw in Codemasters. They should be able to let a driver rejoin the lobby that they were just in. So unfortunately for Arrow, when you're ghosted like this, you're just not fast. Looking at the gaps, he should be able to sneak away a point, but what could have been a really nice points day for him is going to disappear. Damn, hate to see that happen. Oh, Arrow's back in. I saw Arrow join. Okay. We'll wait for this Ferrari to unghost. Alright. If Arrow can get back in, he's currently... B-More is starting to run away, though. Come on. We want to see this Ferrari solidify. Need to get Arrow back in here. But the damage may have already been done with just 2.5 laps to go. Arrow's 5 seconds back at B-More. He's got Aaron Webb closing in. Aaron Webb saying to that Ferrari, stay ghosted, bud. He wants to try to close that gap. Not doing, though. McSendit has gained a couple tenths on Odoms, but he is still far back. We'll keep an eye on that, though. The battle for the lead. Woody, though, has closed the gap on Dahi. He's within DRS. And even though Arrow made it back in the lobby, he just said it in chat, it's not letting him take control of the car. So, unfortunately, that is it for Arrow. Based on that lap time, he is going to fall to Aaron. He's definitely going to fall to J-Rod. That'll put him back to 8th place. We'll see if Ranga and Chapa have anything for him. Arrow is going to be able to score points. He did enough laps. He is going to score points, but, however, the game took away a great points race for him. Tough, tough break. Now with 2 to go, though, we've got 2 battles to watch. Wait a minute, why is Aaron... Wait, is Arrow back in? That's a solid Ferrari. Arrow is back in. So eventually, Arrow was in Twitch chat. It wouldn't let him take control, but he is in control right now, and he is duking it out with Aaron Webb. He is right on the tail of that Force India. Not what Aaron wanted to see. Aaron thought he was going to get a free position, but Arrow is fighting back now. He's got the DRS. He's got the preferred line going into the hairpin. He's got complete overtake of Aaron. Aaron with an early break, trying for an over-under. Can't make it stick. The Ferrari's going to accelerate. So Arrow is going to stay in 6th place for now. Aaron is well within DRS, though, with 2 to go. McSendit is closing in on Odoms right now. Well, all due respect, I wanted to watch Brian and K-Dog duke it out back there, but we're going to hop on board with this Mercedes. Does he have what it takes? Can he close in? If he wants any shot at Odoms, though, he is going to need big-time straightaway speed right here. He needs to have DRS by the next lap. He's not going to have it. Let's hop on Woody's real quick. Right behind Dahi. The teammates, this is what we saw last week at Australia. Except there's going to be no penalties this time to swap around the order. These guys are going to have to race it to the line. Aaron Webb still staying within DRS of Arrow. We'll keep an eye on that. K-Dog's on DRS of Brian. We've got 3 battles for positions trying to work out here on this final... Well, really, final lap for the leaders. Odoms and McSendit have already taken the white flag. There's a big-time run by Woody's, and he big-time locks it up. Dahi saw that coming. Dahi did the smart thing, broke early, let Woody's go way wide. That might have been the podium move right there. And on top of it, now Woody's gets the penalty. So, I'm not going to say that's going to secure the podium for Nick, but it's looking really, really good. Woody's got on the brakes way too hard, locked up the tires, slid right through the hairpin. Dahi, with the veteran move, just backed off, let Woody's go sliding by, took the position back. McSendit, folks. He is right there. Odoms trying to make those softs go. Odoms cannot allow McSendit to get DRS down this backstretch. I think it still may be a little bit too much to ask. But McSendit trying to close that gap. I think McSendit, that right there was the point for DRS. I think McSendit may have been just past 1 second by a couple thousandths. We're going to see, does the DRS open up? It does not. He is getting slip, but no DRS. McSendit trying to make something happen here. He's only got a couple more turns to do it. Late break really closes up to the back of Odoms. He needs Odoms to slip out of the final turn. And it's not going to happen. Odoms is going to take the checker flag. His first PRL victory as he destroys his McLaren crossing the line. Odoms, congratulations. Fist pumping with the tire hanging off. Dahi's going to cross the line in 3rd. Oh, no, not yet. He's coming out of the hairpin. Woody's is right behind, but Woody's does have a 3-second penalty. For the 2nd week in a row, Williams are going to go 3-4. Dahi will snag the podium. Woody's is going to cross the line in 4th. Beemore with the best finish for the 4th India this season. He's going to come home in 5th. Arrow should have been up there in that battle for the podium. Got the disconnection, came back in. It's going to secure 6th. Aaron Webb will cross the line in 7th. J-Rod, he's going to score some points. He does some wiggles. It's good to see that out of him because he left points on there. He had a fast race car tonight, but 2 really big offs cost him. All right, this is going to be a double points day for Mercedes. As Ranga comes off the final turn, he's going to take 9th position. Congratulations to Ranga. And Chapa, he's got 1 more turn to go. And there you go. That is going to be the first point scored for Toro Rosso this season as Chapa takes 10th. Brian made a hell of an effort trying to close that gap. He's going to fall just under 3 seconds short, crossing 11th. K-Dog in 12th. And then lap vehicles, Bubba and KWP will round out the rest of the field. So absolute stunner there. We saw an amazing battle between teammates. with just a veteran move by Nick Dahi able to secure the podium. And then McSendit driving the wheels off the car. The final 2 laps closed in a 2.5-second gap. And just did miss out on the win. He was a half-second behind your first-time winner. And really, first time in a while we've seen a McLaren up there on the top step. Odom's taking the victory here in China. McSendit's in the chat now. Yeah, McSendit just needed 1 more lap. Give her props to the winner, Odoms, though. Hell of a battle there at the end. And then we mentioned earlier, again for the second week in a row, all right, our 3 podium drivers, the same as Australia, just a different guy on the top step. Odoms, his first career victory. Half-second behind was McSendit with that amazing late charge. Dahi will round out the podium. Woody's in 4th, so really a nice manufacturer day for the Williams drivers. We said be more in 5th. Arrow, Aaron, J-Rod, Ranga, and Chapa round out your points drivers. Brian and K-Dog both had to 2-stop. K-Dog due to damage, Brian due to tire wear. Couldn't quite get themselves back in the points, though. And there's Bubba, and there's KWP, and that's going to round out the field. Excellent, excellent race tonight. I think we might have a bit of a bugged lobby here. I'm waiting for a timer to kick us out, but the timer's not coming, so I'm going to go ahead and kick myself out. There we go. Let's blue screen it. Let's get our podium drivers in here. Damn you, McSendit. Show online. There we go. The party invites are out.
Oh, nice job, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, you boys. You boys put on a hell of one there. The final 2 laps had to keep me on my toes.
Fuck! I can't believe I closed in.
I was breaking myself. My tires were on 80%.
No way.
I figured they
Yeah.
had to be the way that McSendit closed that gap. I figured you were
Oh
just
my
trying to
God.
make her to the end.
My left front, anyways, because I wanted to just get a gap because I knew that would happen. I wanted to get a gap so I could at the end just sort of slow down.
Oh, man. Yeah, I could tell when you started pushing. Like,
Yeah.
you got up to like over 3 seconds pretty easily.
All right, well, Twitchland, we pretty much already started this interview, so we're waiting on Donnie to jump in, but let's go with it. Your first
Sorry,
time
Hoot.
winner tonight. No, that's all good, guys. I love the excitement. But yeah, we got to give the props to Odom. Snags the pole, gets his first career win. Let's talk about the move, though. It really came down to that pit stop. You guys pitted nose to tail. Odoms, you got out of the pits with a little bit of a gap, and really came down to K-Dog. He was on worn tires. You made a really ballsy dive, made it stick. You put K-Dog between the 2 of you guys, and that helped lead to your gap. That held all the way up until the final lap. So, like, was that going through your head? You knew your tire wear was going to be an issue. Did you were like, all right, I've got to get the pink car in between, or the yellow car in between us as quick as possible?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I could have waited for the straight, but I wanted to get that as soon as possible. So I just went for it. Hopefully it wasn't too like dirty, but I really needed to make that move and just push as much as I can to get down a gap and then put it into lane when I could to conserve the tires, which I just about did. I was in my head like You don't understand the internal struggle in my head. I was like, I know he's gonna pit for softs. Should I just go for mediums or should I go? Should I do?
Dude, I for sure thought you were gonna go to mediums, man. I didn't think you could pull it off. But man, like seriously, congratulations! I can't believe you finished with your tires like not exploded.
Well, they exploded after the finish line, that was for sure.
Yeah, they definitely did.
But let's talk about that, Odoms, man. Let's be honest, because I've been there myself. When I won my first GT3 race, I had the all-time winningest guy on my tail coming out of the final turn. When you saw that Delta dropping the final 2 laps, man, was that heart beating a little bit heavier there?
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to just keep calm, don't do anything stupid. Yeah, just.
And you know what, though? I think what also helped in the long run, maybe you still would have kept the gap, but that final DRS zone down the backstretch, McSendit, you missed out by 17/1000ths of a second of getting DRS.
Nah, yeah, I don't think it would have been able to happen anyway. I really needed another lap.
Oh, man. Absolutely crazy. But, gentlemen, man, that was a world-class battle you guys had pretty much going on the whole race, because that whole first stint, too, McSendit, you were right there. It just it seemed like you couldn't get the slip that you needed on the long DRS straight.
I had one really good opportunity where I forced Odoms to defend, and I went to the outside, but if I was really ballsy, I probably would have tried to jump to the inside, but because it seemed like there might have been an opportunity there, but just so early in the race and making a move like that, you know, it's never really a good idea. So
right.
I played it safe, but it turns out that's as close as I ever got. So that's the way she goes.
Yep. But hey, to both of you guys though, hell of a run. That was really awesome stuff tonight.
Thanks, man.
Let's talk to him again. 2 weeks in a row, taking the bottom step of the podium. Nick Dahi, bringing her home in third, my man. You had an action-packed race yourself. There was a constant battle going on for third, it seemed, the entire race.
Yeah, I need to work on my starts for sure. But yeah, I let J-Rod get by, and then I was side by side with, I don't know, maybe it was Arrow, I think, a Ferrari.
Yes.
And then managed to catch back up to J-Rod. He ran wide in turn 1. And then from there on, it was just me, Woody, and Arrow back to back to back. And I didn't realize these guys could go softs.
Yeah, I was really shocked by that because in my mind, you're the king of tire wear. And when I saw you pit on lap 8 and throw on mediums, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like when the tires were worn, I was just losing so much time. So I didn't really think it was even an option.
Yeah.
But as the race kind of progressed, I don't know, I had a decision to make, and I just said I was going to try to pit early, because I figured I could at least make the mediums last, but that wasn't even that easy.
Yeah, I was about to say, because unfortunately by pitting early, you came out in traffic, so it wasn't exactly the nice open road that you were hoping for, but you made it work, my man. And we've got to talk about that hairpin with 2 to go. Woody's, your teammate, gets a strong run. Really put it in there, unfortunately too hard. Like, that was what I thought was a really veteran move by you. You could tell this was coming. You broke early. Your teammate went flying by you, and you did the over. Or, excuse me, the over-under. Did you have a feeling he was just coming in way too hot?
Yeah, because I kind of like defended pretty far to the inside, but he still went for the inside line. So as soon as I saw that he went over there, I immediately started going to the left side of the track, and then I just saw a puff of smoke.
Well, thankfully that decision you made saved a really great points day for you guys again. You were already the leaders by, granted it was just by 2 points, but you're the leaders coming out to this race, and by, again, finishing 3rd and 4th, you're just going to widen that lead going into next week, so you guys got to be happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did Ranga get any points?
He did. He got 9th.
Ranga finished 9th.
Okay, so we actually got the same amount of points then. No, McSendit got 2nd. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so are you guys in the lead now?
We have 227 points, I think.
Correct.
Oh, man.
You're going to have back-to-back 27s.
Yeah. So again, me and Woody had like the same pace. He pit a lap later. I think it was bit better in the first half of the track. We were kind of discussing this in the party chat, and then he was better at the second half. So, yeah, that was a good move by him. He just kind of broke a little too late, but it was probably interesting for the fans.
Oh, it was great to watch because I was right on you guys when that happened. So, but
and
gentlemen,
congrats to McSended and Odoms, because those two were in a class of their own. I just had to weasel my way on to the podium again.
yeah, you guys definitely tore away from the rest of the field, and for the longest time there, you made it. Especially, after the pit cycle, I was like, man, that's boring up front. Let me watch everybody else duke it out. But then you guys brought it right back. Had to put on the show. Entertainers as always. But gentlemen, congratulations, especially all three of you guys with back-to-back podiums to start the season off. So really giving you that nice big early gap there in the championship runnings.
Yep. Did you guys like my exclamation lap?
Yeah, well, let's mention that. What the hell were you guys doing?